Hey there, YouTube land. And as you guys know, I'm a pretty big fan of, well, that company right there. So a couple things happened since I've been on here last. Um, my phone today had the bit of the case broken, a tiny bit of the case broken off of it. So I dropped it many times, nothing. I dropped it today and shattered. The glass on my phone shattered. Had to go get it repaired. Actually, just got my phone repaired. It's over there right now. Uh, Cost a bit. So when Scream Factory had their sale on, they had like you get the coasters, and every few people would get like this magazine, the Scream Factory magazine, which is really interesting because I'm a big Scream Factory fan, and I'm also a big guy with Fangoria. I actually buy a lot of their stuff. Check out a lot of their. So unfortunately, I did not get the magazine when it was going on. My son actually got it, and I got to read a little bit of it from him. So my better half said she had something coming in the mail for me, um, to and I received that today. So I thought we'd open it up here together. It's very well packaged. I'm going to give them that credit for that. It's very extremely well packaged, to be honest with you. So luckily I've got this knife here. I'm going to be very careful with it. And this came, I know what this is because basically I have the sweetest better half around. Apparently it was not going to be satisfied with me not receiving something. So I did not know it was orderable online. I guess I'm not the smartest that way. Received today from Fangoria the special limited edition bagged and boarded Scream Factory, and I am so excited to have this myself. I've got over 80 Scream Factories in my collection. When the big ones came out, Amityville Horror, Vincent Price Volume 1, the Halloween set, I was right there first in line to grab all that stuff. I was lucky enough, a good friend of mine got me the Nightbreed one, which I was very excited about. Watch Price of the Burgers channel, which I'm sure y'all do know actually. It's amazing stuff. And speaking of which, I did not get in on the contest, which I wanted to. And but somebody else, actually other people got in on it and won it. And I wanted to, let's see if I can find it here. I want to make sure I get it right. I am not the best with pronunciation of names. So you can see I do watch a bit of Decker Shadow. And you'll also notice that this is a different television set than the one you saw in my previous videos. You can actually see the screen. So what did I do? Well, basically we had some issues with our other TV. We ended up having to get that one brought back, and we were looking at other TVs that we could get. And we ended up deciding to go with this 3D one that we found, because we do have quite a few 3D, and we got it for a very, very good price. So is it Dennis or Dennis? Okay, I'm gonna say Dennis. Dennis. Dennis Reviews. That has a really great channel. I was going to do a video on his on it basically, because he had this this contest where you could talk about what you liked about his channel, and you would you could win. So some people did actually win, and I gotta say congratulations on that. But you haven't checked their Dennis Reviews. I will link him along with Parsnip, who actually in the bottom of the screen there. Check both those guys out. If you haven't checked them out, you really, really should. There's a ton of people that I want to be talking about. I want to have a few responses to get back to. I was blown away by the Blu-ray collection video and the responses that got. Thank you so much for that. Whether you thumbs it up or thumbs it down, right now it's about 880 views, which is not a lot for a lot of people, but it's a nice bit for me. The most views I've ever gotten on a video is like 3,300, and it's over time. But in about a week, this one here has kind of been a biggie for me. So thank you, and anybody that's subscribed or shared it, again, thank you so much, because it's been a big deal for me, and it's nice to see this going. I've gotten to 940 subscribers. I'm hoping to get that magic event mark, then I'll just basically do another big contest thing. That being said, I am also thinking of doing a Q&A video. So if anybody has any questions that they want to ask, feel free down there. It can be about movies, it can be about other stuff, and I'll try and answer it. It can be about my favorite food, my favorite chip type, my favorite film, favorite TV show, that type of thing. I'm going to try and answer all those in an upcoming video. Depending on how many I get, when I get enough, I'll do a video and we'll see. We'll have fun with it. I'm thinking about doing a overview of all my TV shows and all of my animation. Again, I kind of like the shelf out there, the new one I got, doing a basic overview of that entire shelf. So let me know what you think, what you want to see on this channel in the upcoming future. I know that I want to go check this out and look into it. I'm also looking at doing a video on some Mill Creek stuff, especially on my good friend Falgar 5 and 7. He did he asked me recently about was it worth getting the set, the Masters of the Universe set, over the like say something like the BCI. So like Mill Creek versus BCI, and yes, but like aspect ratio and all that type of stuff. So maybe I just put it out there now. I may do, if you want me to do like an unboxing of that set, I can like really go in depth with it. The Mill Creek set, as it is got the it does have the right aspect ratio, and I think a lot of it depends basically on how you set up your VDTV, because sometimes it'll come out like in the wrong ratio. From the research that I did and from watching some of the episodes, they all came out in the right aspect ratio for me. Now, as for like the what's the transfer like? What's the Mill Creek transfer like as opposed to the BCI transfer? Well, Mill Creek about the BCI, there's not much difference at all between the BCI and the Mill Creek. Is the Mill Creek transfer any lesser than the BCI one? No, actually it's not. In some ways, the remastering is actually a bit better than the BCI one. BCI did a great job, and you got to give them credit for the stuff that they did. They put out some great art cards with it. There's more features when the BCI ones originally came out. They were more expensive, and they put them in like these boxes. My son has them all. I got them for him. And I have the She-Ra on the BCI editions. They are amazing editions. If you can have both of them, have both of them. But as for like if you're a He-Man and you're a fan of the series, then grab the Mill Creek edition if you can still get it. It's actually gotten very expensive now, so if you can find it in your area, I do recommend that you get it. It does have the complete original He-Man series on it. It has the complete revamped He-Man series on it. The only thing was a little bit disappointing was it had the kind of the top 20 fan favorite episodes of that in between He-Man series that didn't do so well. So you can grab that one along the way if you want, and it's a fun one. So, but what it comes with, if you can find that B-side one, that's when you can get like things called the New Adventures of He-Man or something like that. But the Mill Creek set is definitely the way to go for that series. If you can grab the B-side ones for cheap to go with the Mill Creek one, definitely do that. But the Mill Creek one does honor it in more ways than one. It gives you the original, the LP, the soundtrack from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Because Chef Factory actually did put out a bigger, I think it's a 2 or 3 disc CD set of the Masters of the Universe soundtrack. And what you get on the Scream Factory, Chef Factory edition, is the original LP, the Masters of the Universe soundtrack, which is actually extremely good if you're a big fan of the series. And the Masters of the Universe, as you know, was done to promote toys, and it had a very successful toy line. And the other thing that they give you is this gold sword for a Masters of the Universe. It's this Atom sword. And if you're going to be showing a series that was extremely influential and popular and was based on a toy line, there's nothing better that you can give than an actual something that can be an addition to the toy line itself. And the Mill Creek one has that sword that is an addition that actually works and fits for the Masters of the Universe toys. So it's pretty much an all-encompassing set. It does also have the kind of like the outside, like the kind of Castle Grayskull, and it's not done. When I first saw it, I thought this was gonna be some kind of cheap, kind of like plasticky thing that would crack over time, because you know those we got those hollow ones that kind of end up cracking that, but it's not. It's almost like a ceramic type of thing, so it works that way as well. So you have the complete He-Man series, you have the complete new series, you have the 20 fan favorites from the medium and many would call mediocre series. You'll get the soundtrack. You'll get an amazingly cool booklet that'll go through the entire episode guide for all those shows that you got. You will get the soundtrack. You will get an amazing box set. It'll be a limited edition, and it will have the their sword in it. The aspect ratio is correct, and just may have to, depending on what the make of your DVD player, you might have to go in and look at that and say, okay, and fix the aspect ratio setting on there. That happens with some of them, and it definitely happened with a few people that were looking at it online. I actually figured that out afterwards. But great set overall. But today, my better half got me something that really made me smile, and that is the Fangoria Screen Factory. I love the fact that he bagged and boarded it, so I can actually look at it, put it back in, keep it safe, keep its spine nice and good, and put this somewhere up on my shelf, because it's a big, big part of my collection. Thanks for watching, and for me right now, it's time for tea. My better half just got home. I got to go meet her at the door, and I am out of here.